Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
Good morning, Guam, and thanks for starting your day the KUAM way down here at the port to celebrate 44 years of Port Week with Port Strong. We're going to talk to the port management, our buddy Rory, the GM down here, and hopefully we'll get to talk with the Harbormaster. And really, we just want to show you guys some cool video out on the yard of the port. As you can see, safety first. Think pink. That's right. It's also Think Pink. So if you left the house, you're at work without anything pink, go back home. Let's go ahead and support all of our breast cancer fighters out there. As we do Think Pink, to honor our very own Christy St. Augustine and so many others. I'll have more info on that, of course, as the day goes on. But doing the port now here. Here at the Port Police Station, Officer Sandlin. We know that we got everyone waiting for us. So tell us what we're in for today.
Yeah, morning, Chris. Morning, Guam. I'm Officer James Sandlin with the Port Police. What we have, we're just celebrating 44 years of Port Authority celebration. What we have going on today is that we're going to do a tour inside the port compound, and we're going to show what goes on and what activity happens within the port. Likewise, we have our port management team that are in there standing by, and they're ready to greet you, and we can move forward from there.
Right on, and I want to thank Officer Sandlin for letting me use his helmet this morning. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Safety first.
Safety first, man.
Yes, sir. Okay, as we go, we
Let's
can
go.
Go and proceed out to our vehicle, and we'll be more than happy to take you guys out.
All right, beautiful day here in the neighborhood. Really safety first, they've outfitted. And I don't know if this is like, we look like port newbies. All those guys must have just started working here. They're still wearing all their gear. But it's safety first, man. So we want to definitely protect what's inside this dome. And we're wearing the vest here for visibility. So let's go ahead and load up, man.
Hey, guys.
You want me to sit in the front or the back? Want me to sit next to you?
The front.
Right on.
Sorry about the room there.
No worries.
Okay, we're in a Port Police official vehicle at this time, and
Right
we're
on.
proceeding into the compound.
And every time I think about the Port Police, I think about that prank call I was able to do with Defunto Joe Cruz way back. Real ones know. Check it. It's probably on SoundCloud or something. So I guess typical day, is it pretty busy for Port Police down here?
Yes, it's normally busy Monday to Friday. Monday to Friday is normally our own vessel operations that we have within the compound. And as we move on, we have the tenants, we have the port employees, we have the vessels coming in, and as the vessels come in one day at a time, we try to make sure that each leaves on time, so that everyone will get the cargo and their goods will be shipped out, and everyone on island will have a good weekend of shopping.
There you go. No more empty shelves. And so we just saw a vessel pull in right now, a few minutes ago, right?
Yes. I believe we have the Matson vessel that's on dockside at this time. And yes, it is just pulling into dock. We'll have good view as we further go in. Right now, we're going to be approaching Port Authority Police main gate, the main gate entry. Likewise, we'll be giving the officer our names and badge number, and we'll go and proceed in from there.
And we went back here for the Five Deeps exhibition, and security really, really tight for obvious reasons here, right?
Yes, this is a highly restricted area. Not anyone on island could just come in. You have to have a reason to, in order for anyone to come in, you have to have a reason in regards to working in this area.
Right.
So if anyone, as far as cargo with vehicles coming in, and we have an owner that's trying to get their vehicle, there's a process that they need to do, as you can see, as we have cargo coming out. And we do have our officers checking it at all times, making sure that we have the documents that's in regards to the document. We're going to verify, and if it clears, we're going to have it proceed out. If it does not clear and we have a typo in the document or with the shipment, we'll go ahead and turn it around and go through the same process again at we'll send them back to our cargo building.
Right. So even a typo could delay stuff coming in and out of here.
Yes, we have to make sure that all documents and all the information on the documents is accurate. And if we have one typo that shows, we will most definitely stop the cargo from exiting out or entering, and we will have the documents situated accordingly.
Well, there you go. So you're trying to bring stuff in or out of here. Make sure you dot your I's and cross your T's.
Yeah. Right now we got here we got Officer Wayne Duran. He's going to be checking our IDs. As right now, we have my ID that I'm going to be presenting. I have a TWIC ID, and a TWIC ID is in regards to workers' identification card.
Wow.
And that goes with as far as Guam sector, Guam Coast Guard sector. And we have 3 IDs that needs to be processed at the gate. We have a port identification card, we have a TWIC card, then we have a maritime security card. Maritime security card, you have to go to the briefing. So anyone that's going to enter to the port has to go to a security briefing. They just cannot come in when they feel like or if they want to come in.
Right.
So right now we're going to ask for you guys badge ID. Each ID has a ID number. If you could please present it to the officer. We got badge number 48.
You might want to do an additional inspection of this, Jason, back here, because.
So can you just roll the back windows?
Okay. So any personnel that or individual that's coming in, it must have a reason to come in. They just cannot come in just because they want, and
Right.
it's very strict. Like I said earlier, it is a restricted area.
It is, and I know this because there was a couple times where, we hear like a cruise ship is coming in, and we want to get good B-roll, and rookie mistake, come down here thinking, oh, we'll just go in and shoot from over here, but you can't.
Oh no, you have to get clearance first.
Right,
Normally, we have the vessel. When we have a passenger vessel coming in, we would have a passenger agent locally on Guam.
Right.
And in regards to the Carnival Splendor yesterday, this past Sunday's operation, we had AMBIF. AMBIF was the agent. So the agent would situate all the important documents that is related to the vessel ops. Once they get the documents, they would then submit it to Port Police, and the Port Police would go ahead and give a clearance in regards to it. Once everything is cleared and situated, prior to the vessel's arrival, and then we'll start setting up and get everyone with, as far as badges, get all the goods that need to come in. That's gonna be part of this operation.
Right. So that's a lot of containers. How many containers on like the average vessel?
Oh, you're talking about in the thousands.
Right,
I'm
yeah.
thinking this ship probably 4,000.
And then how long does it take the port to offload that container or that vessel?
Basically, not all the containers are for Guam. There's certain pretty much at the most for Guam, 500.
Probably hit you with that. Hey, when's this coming in? Or hey,
You know it. Well, commerce pretty much begins here and ends here at the port for our island. We perpetuate the economy. Our primary role is, like I said, to mobilize the cargo and get it out, the provisions to the people in a timely, safe manner, and that's pretty much what we do.
And so, what is it looking like? 44 years of Port Strong this week. What's the feeling with you guys and your boots on the ground?
Well, lately we've been working with the current administration from a union standpoint, working out morale issues, working out scheduling issues, and so far the morale is good. We've been coming together and moving the port in a positive direction as far as working closely with management. And everything's been going good. We got our union contract moving forward through the system. Our scheduling is outlined in law and it's being followed. Everything's being followed. So we've been doing record numbers moving these containers. Our morale is up. This administration has been going above and beyond to ensure that the employees' working environment is being taken care of.
Everybody looks pretty smiley out here today.
Exactly. We're just getting ready to cut the cake on the Matson vessel and get these containers out to the community.
So what's the turnaround, man, from you being on the transportation side, waiting for this to get offloaded? Like how much time goes between offloading it to this stuff being out on the street?
Well, from what I understand, it was 17 hours projected. We got it done in 14 hours, so we're ahead of schedule.
Nice.
Trying to get it out there, especially with these storms coming in too. We got to get these vessels out so we can accommodate the other carriers bringing cargo into our island.
So how do you guys juggle, the need to do this quickly and efficiently with the safety factor?
Well, with the safety factor, like I said, we're working closely with management. We're trying to get, because right now we're kind of short-handed. We have casual employees that are augmenting us where we're short in the areas we're short. And that's what we're doing. We're trying to be as safe and efficient as possible. We have safety out there monitoring us. That's pretty much it.
So what's going on over here with these trucks taking these containers?
These containers, I believe, are on customs hold. So what's going on right now is these containers are randomly selected from our yard, and then they're staged over here at the warehouse 2 pad. And what happens is Customs and Quarantine comes over here, they open the containers and they inspect these containers. You know what I'm saying? Make sure there's no chemicals that are intermixing or
no brown widows.
Yeah, brown widow spiders or whatever. That's what Customs does. Or sometimes we have chemicals like explosive stuff, and Coast Guard would come in and monitor those and open them up and make sure they're safe before they go on the streets into the community.
And so that's kind of how it works. With I want to say millions of containers coming in here.
Yes, sir.
Year, right?
Yes,
so.
sir.
There's just no way for Customs to check every single one, so they do that. They kind of like flag them randomly, right?
Yes, but they also have an X-ray machine too, so that whatever cargoes are flagged, they also have an X-ray machine that they can scan the cargo as it goes by. But like I said, these are all random containers, and sometimes they find stuff, and those containers are put on hold until those infractions are rectified, and then those containers go back into the yard and are issued to our customers.
Nice. So we're gonna go and let's get some video and let me see who Rory has got here that we can talk to next here. Okay. Hi.
Janice Flores.
Okay, so actually we're here with Janice. What's your title, Janice?
Vessel planner.
So what does a vessel planner do?
Okay, so what we do, you see that vessel right there?
Right.
So prior to that vessel arriving, we already have their documents for loading and discharge. So we take it up to the vessel planners will plan it accordingly to ensure that when the container is coming down is being captured with our new updated TUS system. So every move is captured through the system. Our dockside will be down there and they'll be discharging it and they'll load it and all the numbers should match. So over here we have our brake boats too. So these brake boats came from everywhere around the world.
Right.
So they order it, they come in, we have brake boats over here. If they need to be inside and be secured from the elements, then we put them in here, and the customers will come in and pick it up. Every once in a while, you see a trucker coming in and picking up their brake boats.
How long you been down here at the port?
8.5 years. Yeah.
So how many vessels have you vessel planned for? Do you know? Do you keep track?
For every single vessel. So we have Mail Lines, MSA, Matson, APL, Inchcape. We have like 7 or 8 agencies that come into the island and go out too.
So what's you guys in your division, your department? What is the thinking here, celebrating 44 years of Port Week?
Man, it's a huge improvement. As far as the systems upgrade, it's a big improvement. The expansion yard, now they give us more room to move. So like he said that they had to take those containers from U.S. Coast Guard and put them on the side. Before, when we didn't have the expansion yard, we'll be fighting space, trying to figure out where to put these containers so that Coast Guard can come in and do their part, and Customs. As well as the brake boats, we have all that yard space right there. So when the big brake boat comes in see those rebars right there? They come in by the bundles, hundreds of bundles, and sandbags. They all come in. So we have the space and the room to maneuver around.
It kind of makes sense to put those containers over there in case anything freaky pops out, right?
That is correct. And Coast Guard is ensuring our safety, everybody in the port safety, as well as the island. So to make sure that there's no dangerous cargo goods that are mixed and blend in, which can create a big combustible.
Let's talk about you and vessel planning and transportation and the stevedores.
We work.
What's it like? Right. So different parts of one body.
Right.
How do you get that cohesion?
Okay, it all starts with the vessel planners, okay?
It all starts with the vessel planners. It all starts right here.
Yeah, so it starts with me. We get the plan, then we disseminate the plan, and then Patrick, who's the assistant operation manager, he's also stevedore. So he'll look at the plan and he'll tell his guys, this is what we're going to do. Transportation supervisors and leaders, they look at the plan and they know exactly what we're going to do, where we're going to start. how we're going to start, how we're going to end it, and so forth. So it all works in sync. They tell their guys this is what we're going to do. So the minute the vessel comes in, bam, you got a cargo checker, you got your trucker lining up, you got stevedores lining up the vessels, going up there, knowing which bay to start and which bay to end. So it all works in sync. Everything that moves that gantry up there gets captured by me, or I'm sorry, by us up at the tower with the vessel
Us.
planners. The
Team
vessel
thing.
planners monitor and ensure all billable moves are captured, and that's the key word here, you know. So
And so, I mean, it starts with a great plan, like the A team
Yes.
show you. I love when a good plan comes
Yes.
together.
Yes.
What if it doesn't? What
it
about when you
doesn't?
hit those snags?
Oh yeah. Well, there's nothing that we can't fix. So if that container right there is not supposed to come down, but we got to take it down in order to get the other 3 containers, we'll just take it down, take the 3 containers, take that container, put it right back up. Simple as that. If the plan is wrong, then we get with the agent and we say, hey, you can't load a 40 but on this bay because it's too
Oh
small,
God, you can't load a
whatever.
40. Come
You
on,
know?
agent. What are you thinking?
Yeah, but they're usually we don't have those. We have minor glitches on the foreign vessels because they're not made like American vessels. You know, they're not made the same. So we have those issues, but it's nothing we can't fix. Everything can be fixed.
Well, there you go. So let's see who else we got going down the chain.
Harbormaster.
What's up, Chris? How you doing?
How you doing?
So Chris Flores here, best Harbormaster ever. I mean, that's such a big title. I don't even know what you do, man. So just right off the bat, let's talk about what does the Harbormaster do down here?
So my job, I'm a direct representative of the port manager, and my job is to enforce the rules and regulations of Upper Harbor and the marinas here. So basically, when vessels submit their notice of arrivals, we would make sure that whatever cargo they have, if it's hazardous, we would scan it, screen it, make sure that the Coast Guard is aware of it as well, and we'll get the right people involved to get permits for them to offload their cargo.
What are some
here.
of the hazardous things that come in? And I know not hazardous like things that are illegal or dangerous, but certain products, certain chemicals require certain permits, right?
Yeah, it's mostly the ammonium nitrate is one of the hazardous cargoes that we bring often, and that usually requires an escort from the Coast Guard as well as Port Police, and then permits from the Coast Guard as well.
And so when you see the police escort with the big truck coming from the port, that's what that is.
Most of the time it is, yes.
And so what's I guess one of the parts of your job, and you being the representative of management out here on the yard, do you take that seriously, and how do you act as that buffer between the rank and file and port admin?
Definitely, we take the mooring of ships seriously because that can be detrimental to the port and Guam's commerce as well. We have an accident here. This is all we have from F4 to F6. If the channel is blocked, we can't bring any ships for any commerce. So we take our job very seriously. Up at the Harbormaster's office, we have marine traffic controllers and dock masters. So if you were here earlier, you'll see the Manikai that just docked here.
Right.
We had a dock master that gives distances and just advises the pilot of the speed of the vessel or any obstruction or hazards that may come about docking vessels. That way the ships can dock safely, we can tie them up, moor them up, and then the operations can take over from there.
So in doing the job that you guys do down here, I mean, a lot of it is repetition, right? So
Yeah.
these ships come in, it's the same process, the same procedure. How do you guys prepare for those unexpected occurrences? And then also, how do you kind of keep it fresh doing the same thing every day?
Unexpected occurrences, we definitely ahead of time look at the situation. We definitely don't just bring in vessels and go with what our second nature is. We definitely have to screen, figure out what the requirements are, what the weather is, because weather plays a big part of more in any type of vessel. And so we definitely look at all those elements, and we figure out what the best way to bring a vessel in is. And if we can't, then we'll just have to wait for a better day, and we'll bring them in at a different time.
And then how do you guys keep it fresh, man? Because sometimes you do the same job. How many years? It's a little boring.
Every day is a different day. You may bring the same vessel that came in 2-3 weeks ago, but it's always different. The weather's different, the atmosphere is different, and there's always a little bit of changes here and there. So it's great to be working in the Harbormaster's office because you see it all every day, but it's never the same.
Let's talk about that weather, man. What kind of weather will keep you guys from doing what you got to do to offload a vessel?
So with heavy weather conditions, we're looking at 39 knot winds or more. That's when the Coast Guard comes into play, and there are our safety pretty much.
You got to break that down. I don't know knots with miles per hour. Or what is that? And what is that in English?
It's just a maritime term for winds. Yeah.
Right,
So with that that speed of wind.
That's like tropical stormy, maybe, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
That's core 3 basically in the government side, but in the captain of the port, which is the U.S. Coast Guard side, they have a port heavy weather condition, which is
Their
similar
own setup, right?
Exactly, but they're more stringent for the port and waterways because, like I said earlier, once we block the waterways, it basically crumbles Guam's commerce. So. They would set port heavy weather condition for us, and then we just follow the guidelines as what they have set for us, and we go from there. But,
I gotta ask you, man. 44th Port Week. From everyone I'm talking to on the weigh-in, it seems like a pretty big celebration this year.
Oh, it's a great celebration. We open all the agencies to come out during Port Week. We have different type of sports events: basketball, volleyball. We had a tractor pull contest, which I was hoping maybe you'll come out and take a video of that because that was awesome. We involved the carriers, all the port stakeholders. We just have a great Port Week fun event for the employees and the stakeholders as well.
But nobody's taking a day off, man. It's
Nobody's
Port Week, but
taking a
you
day
still
off.
got to work, right?
Yeah, nobody's taking a day off. Usually we just, during the time they have open, they'll come over and participate if they can. If not, it's unfortunate.
Always juggling that, right?
It's always juggling. We run operations here 24/7. Same with the Harbormaster's office. So it's hard for my people to come down as well as the operations department. So, it's a great event, but at the same time, some people are unfortunately not able to participate in all the sports.
Oh, hey. So, Chris, thank you. I just want to say,
you very much.
Hi from your lovely wife, Stacy, who's probably watching right now, hopefully.
Yes, she
share
is.
this. So let's see who else we going to get here, Don. All right, let's go out here, Joe. What's up, Joe? All right, good. Joe.
See you again.
Very, always. So, Joe, when he's not tearing it up on the basketball court, he's out here doing the planning on the federal side. So just, I guess, kind of run through what your job is.
Sure. First, thank you for the opportunity to chat with you. I'm the chief planner of the Port Authority of Guam, and our responsibility is to make sure that any capital improvement project, any type of maritime security related projects that we move forward and we try to acquire federal funding for it. We've been very successful since the 2013 master plan that we had put together for the port. And at one point, Chris, the port was considered to be a choke point. But we've been very
Choke
aggressive.
point meaning that there's so much cargo coming in, and the process of handling it is so slow that there's like a bottleneck. Right?
Yes, there's a potential for it to be a choke point because of the increase in military buildup volume. So having that kind of a responsibility, we made sure that our modernization efforts was in high gear, and we've acquired. Just to let you know, the Guam Commercial Port Improvement Project, we have about over $50 million. We have acquired and completed over $18 million in port security equipment through the FEMA Port Security Grant Program. We have put together a slew of new equipment, over $18 million in new equipment. And then we had sustainability and capital improvement projects for the buildings and other equipment to the tune of about $12 million.
So you're the man, dude. When they need that federal money, I mean, you're like the go-to guy, right?
Well, we actually
Don't be humble.
We actually have a good staff. We have Donna Lizama Costa, Dora Perez, Brenda Atalig, and I want to mention their names: Jared Perez and Chris Uggan. And they're all part of this planning staff that are responsible for acquiring all these federal grants. In fact, you're aware that we just were awarded, of course, the Hotel Wharf project. $10 million has been obligated, and we're ready to move ground on that one. We also have a new grant that we just acquired, about $800,000 to update our master plan, the 2013 master plan that I mentioned to you.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of initiatives that we're moving forward with. Another one that's important and moving forward, and of course, as the governor had mentioned, they want the Port Authority to work closely with the customs, and we're putting together a customs inspection feasibility plan. And you heard about that one, right?
I did, yes.
So we're excited about that one. We'll be working with customs and moving forward with that one.
And then, so let me ask you this, because planning, that's long term, right?
Yes.
So how do you keep interested in setting these plans that take, years to come to fruition?
Yeah, the port has a 5-year capital improvement plan, which is our short-term planning, right? And how do we keep interested in it? The one thing that's good is we do have federal partners that we've been very actively involved with. They've been very supportive. In fact, in a recent trip that we had to DC, we were able to meet with EDA, USDA, U.S. Army Corps of Engineer, FEMA, Office of Economic Adjustment, and those, for example, like Army Corps, the long-term plans that we wanted to move forward with, like our deep draft wharf improvement, those are something that keeps us interested, because it's something that's going to help, number one, generate revenue for the port, but more importantly, it's going to benefit the whole island. And we want to make sure that that the port continues to operate in a way that the cargo moves uninterruptedly.
And that's it. I mean, when people talk about shortages in the grocery stores, it's always because the ship hasn't got here yet. You don't really hear that, it's because, they're slacking over there at the port.
No, it has nothing to do with it. In fact, Matson just recently, I think about a week ago, they had about 900 plus of containers, and in record time, the port operations folks discharge it in 17 hours.
Wow.
17 hours,
Yeah,
which normally takes about 2 days, 2.5 days.
Right. And so when there are those shortages, I'm pretty sure you guys have that heads up, and you're able to be efficient and do what needs to be done.
And our operations folks are really efficient in what they do. They have the capability and the capacity to do that.
Right on. So thank you very much, Joe. Kind of got to wrap it up. I think we're going to go check some. All right, so let's go. We're going to go check this gantry. We're going to go look at this gantry thing that he's,
Okay, so kid will walk with a kid.
Okay.
Kid Pangilinan is crane maintenance.
What's up?
All right,
Cool.
just follow them.
This is the guy we really wanted to talk to. The cool video. All
right, what do you need to know?
I didn't really want to talk to any of those official types over there. I just wanted to come out here and get some cool video.
Okay.
So on the crane side, man, obviously nothing's getting offloaded without the cranes.
It's true. That's correct. And you can't go without the operators. Also, you need all the operators. You need everybody, stevedores. You need stevedores to unlash. You need truck operators to operate the tractors, crane operators, terminal to take care of everything. So it's all a team effort. Everybody's got to put in their share.
Man, so how long does it take to get a license to run one of these things?
It's a 40-hour. Actually, it's a 40-hour class. But then you have to do your OJT prior to that and everything else. There's some companies that will come in and certify, and you go through a test, then there's practical, and then you can get your certification. And it's a yearly recertification. That's what we go through here. It's a yearly.
I mean, how does that thing even work? I can do backhoe, but just run
It's
us
actually,
through.
see the White House there in the middle, that's a generator house. All these cranes are run by generator. It's not island power because we were never set up in the beginning, and it's too costly to do that. We would have to set up our own substation, and it's a lot of power. It's actually 1 meg per crane to run it.
Wow.
That's 1,000 kilowatts.
And so the operator is the operator in that little.
He's right in the little white cab,
Right.
right above the orange. The orange part is called the spreader. That's what lifts the containers.
And so how does the man get up in that little white house?
You see that long ladder and then all those stairs?
Right.
Yeah, all of that, he goes up there.
So not really the best job for someone who's scared of heights.
Or if you have gout.
Or if you have gout. So is that how you pick it? Okay, who wants to run the crane? No, you got gout. Sorry.
You'll be surprised. A lot of guys do, and they still do their work, and they do it well.
I know. I got some uncles who have gout. They'd probably be up there skipping, 2-3 steps at a time.
There you go. But yeah, it's a challenging thing, and it's all run by motors and gears and cable. So the big building on top, that's the machine house. That houses all the gearbox, the motors, the cables, everything. It all runs through there.
So nobody's in there?
Nobody's in there, no. There's an electrical room and a machine room, and that's it. that whole place.
Walk us through. We're seeing the spreader.
He's traveling out. He's trolleying out. I'm not sure if they're cleared, so I think he might be just warming up. Because in the beginning of the operation, you have to set the parameters whenever you start the crane. So there's a process that you run through. He'll go out there. He'll go to the boom tip, and then he'll go there, and then he'll travel back, and at a speed, then he'll go all the way to the rear of the crane, which is the back reach, and he'll stay there again, and then go back in between the legs.
So what's the purpose of what he's doing?
To synchronize the crane, to synchronize the functions of the crane.
So he's basically running a familiarity pattern, kind of.
Yeah. He's doing a setup of the crane is basically it. But yeah, and that's it. It's simple.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
You ever get tired of watching this?
Nope. The thing you never get tired of is when you climb the crane and actually you see, once you get up there and you see actually really how big it is and the enormity, and the view is great from up there.
I bet it is.
It's beautiful. You see everything.
So how long to offload this container? Are we talking like hours?
And hours-wise, well, their window here is, I believe, 24 hours, but they'll have her unloaded. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that's a 12-hour shift. They'll get it done. I'm not sure because that's an operations question. I'm in maintenance.
Right,
okay. But I don't want to throw them under the bus. So
they take, sometimes the container they need to move off is like under other containers that aren't getting offloaded here in Guam?
So that they follow what's called a stow plan. And we get the stow plan from the shippers, and they dictate, it tells us where to start and which containers to take down. And when they're loaded, they're actually loaded in sections that we only do certain sections at a time.
Right on. So I'm just wondering if my stuff from Amazon is in there.
Yes, it will be.
Okay, good. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, Ken, thank you so much. Anything else you want to? Let's shout out your crew, man. I know you guys got a big crew.
This is a team effort. It takes all of us to take care of this port and make it run. They're all doing a great job, and without us, the island wouldn't move, So they're all doing a great job. We're really thankful to all of them.
Well, there you go. Thank you, Ken, again. And let's get let's go get JoJo in here and finance. Obviously, nothing happening without the finance crew. So let's talk about what your involvement is. Obviously, you're paying people here.
We are the one paying the people. We are the one billing. We are making sure that every movement of these operations are being billed properly. So that's why that the tariff division is under our division. So we have guys that does the billing to make sure they communicate with operations, and then bill it as quickly as possible so that we can collect it. We can turn it around and then make sure we pay the vendors. We pay our payroll.
Wow, so you guys actually pay your vendors?
Oh yeah, we are actually less than 30 days. Normally we can pay the vendors by 30 days, but sometimes we are able to accomplish it because of...
You're making all the vendors mouthwater out there.
Yep, we are different from other agencies, so we try our best. We try our best because they're the one that help us make sure that our operations are moving smoothly. So
I got to ask you, I know you came back this year. What's that been like for you?
It has been ever since this new administration. I'm pretty sure you've attended some of the meetings. I have been. They have given me back my original job assignments, and it's been great. I have been trying. Of course, I've been 6 years that I was gone, and I've been really wanting to come back and kind of help out whatever education or talents that I have. That's all I wanted to be able to help out in the port, right? So it's been great. We have several projects that we are undergoing. We are going through a new financial management system.
Right.
Way back, the system that we have is way back since that Y2K bug, since year 2000. And we have so much responsibilities, federal grant responsibilities with the federal grants, responsibilities on the bonds. We just got 70 million worth of bonds. So there are several responsibilities that we have to make sure that we are able to fulfill the reporting that is required by this. And then the audit, the staff in finance has been consistently getting a clean audit. We've seen it. We have so we try our best. We try our best, making sure that we communicate. We work with operations. This administration held back a lot of hiring to make sure, because as you know, in our mid-year budget, we were going in our salary because the previous management approved a new salary scale. We were exceeding by 2 million. We were over budget by 2 million. So to be able to resolve that, we had to control certain expenses. So the management was really very supportive with it. So there was no change on the bottom line number. We are still moving with a positive net income. We're hoping that when we finish the audit, when we close the fiscal year 2019, we're going to have a net income. So
Well, there you go. Thank you, Jojo, very much.
Thank you
Let you
very
get
much,
back
Chris.
to managing that
Good
money.
job, good
Thank
job,
you.
Chris.
Appreciate it. And okay,
Procurement.
let's get procurement in here. Kind of like I told you, they brought the whole department out here.
Hi, Chris. How are
Yeah,
you?
very good, very good, very good.
Mark,
Hey, Chris, man. So Steve and Mark, procurement. I know one thing about government procurement is I'm pretty sure everybody is just always on your butts to hurry it up. It's a very long process.
Every
right?
day. But my role in the procurement office is to spend the bond money. We got the $72 million bond, so we're trying to make sure we get our A&E consultants lined up to design our capital improvement projects, and then of course get the best qualified contractors to build our new buildings and renovate. So that's my job in the procurement office.
And then your job is, do you get him coffee or you guys have
I do sometimes actually. I do a lot with the day-to-day operations of procuring. Our request for quotations, and recently we just received our delegation of procurement authority. It's been about 13 years in the making, so the port's really happy about that, and we got to protect the public's money as much as possible, foster competition, and do the best we can do for the port, because this is like the lifeblood of the island, and so that's what our responsibility is here for. And
hey, you had me at protect the public's money.
That's right.
Yeah, that's what we do, man. So
Right on, guys.
I
yeah.
believe the first expense is government overhead, and I think procurement is right behind it.
Right, there you go. And hey, I know procurement, you guys get hassled all the time. So, and what do you guys tell people who are just like, hey, I need this now? And
We do our best, a lot of times it depends on the responses from the vendors, I mean, and we have vendors who respond and are very quick, but if there's vendors out there listening, respond to our quotes, hopefully we're able to do business with you, so.
there you go.
Yeah.
Protect the process.
Yeah, and like Jojo said, they pay the vendors pretty timely here.
We do, and we're an autonomous agency, and sometimes vendors, they hear Governor Guam and they shy away, right? But you try to make them understand that there's a big difference between the line agencies and the...
There's a big difference between Gov Guam and the port. These guys got money down here. Let's just say it. It's okay. Okay, guys. Thank you very much. Yep.
Thanks, Chris.
Keep on procuring.
Have a good day. Thank you.
All right, we're going to walk up to the third floor. Right on.
You're going to see container management up
Okay,
there, the
right
computer
on, yeah.
system.
So we'll get up here and then we're going to wrap after that. Yeah.
They did 928 container moves in 17 hours, where it once took 36 hours to discharge.
Right, yeah. So we're talking with them about that. And how do you, it took 36 hours before down to 17 hours. What's the difference?
Well, I think the difference is morale is significantly increased, that everybody believes that they have a great stake at the port operations, and they're doing what they need to do. Right now we're going to High Tower. You're going to see the terminal operating system and the financial, that's tied into the financial management system and the tower. You're going to see how every single container in the yard can be tracked.
Well, thanks for these stairs, Rory. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for being here to really showcase the employees and why they've been over the years as Port Strong. So we're going up 3 flights of stairs right now, and hey guys, KWM's here. Yes.
Oh, KUM's here. Surprise! Oh.
Barnett's here. Jason Salas. This is Brian Santos. He's also a vessel planner.
What's up, Brian? Chris, yep, right on. So I guess just walk us through what we're doing here, Brian. Not to put you on the spot or anything, but
Well, I'm kind of ready on the spot, so
Right.
it's a little too late for that. So this is our TOS system. TOS stands for Terminal Operating System. This program is actually one of several programs we use to track cargo on and off a ship, loading and discharging, also in and around our yard and in and out our gates. So it's also a tool we use to help coordinate the movement of them. The better we plan the movement, the faster the container comes off the ship, goes on the ship, the faster it goes in and out the gates, everybody wins. So this helps us pretty much like an inventory system. It's a tracking system, like I said. You ask us where it's at, we can tell you where it's at, where it's going to an extent. And how do I say this? More futuristic planning. More futuristic planning means we're able to plan ahead. That way we're not struggling on the spot on that day. So as you can see right now, we have one vessel in. We received everything yesterday. We've planned for it today. So everything, once we start, hopefully goes according as planned. And we can knock out this ship and all the future ships coming in for the rest of the week.
Wow. So hopefully everything goes to plan. How often do you hit like little snags that maybe throw off your plan?
No plan is perfect. Everything is what we call a projection or an estimation. You can have one plan, but as with every other plan, you have a backup plan with a backup plan to that backup plan.
A backup to the backup to the backup to the.
There's never going to be a perfect operation, no matter how many times you plan it. There always will be that one hiccup. The most important thing is how do you adjust and do you have a countermeasure implemented for those situations. We've handled many of these ships, many of these carriers, years after years. So each of their challenges, we always take a look at their challenges every day, every vessel operation, see if we can mitigate that coming up next operation. That way we can reduce all the downfalls, all the truck turn times, all the productivity. We can actually increase it, and we can make operations a lot more smoother.
Right. So, hey, man, appreciate it, and thanks for coming over. Rory, let's get over here and close this up. Or who we got? Dom? Yeah, let's get Dom in here. So, man, just walking through the operation, I had no idea that it involved this many people, this many different departments here at the port on the operations side. How do you go from this to this and having that cohesion between everybody?
Well, it's all about, it starts from the bottom and works its way up. We've got wonderful employees, from the custodians to the stevedores to the guys that cut the grass, all the way to the mechanics on the cranes. Wonderful bunch of employees, 370 employees. They're all dedicated. They come to work on time. You know, they do their job. They know their role. And it's our job as management just to support them and keep them on track. And for the first 10 months that we've been here, it's been great. Great place to work. The importance of commerce and keeping commerce moving on the island, it's great.
And is that kind of you guys' center, Rory, is that knowing that I keep hearing the different employees, different departments, they're all saying the same thing, lifeblood of the island is what they say.
Absolutely, and every single employee that calls themselves part of the port family, they recognize the contribution that they make to the local and regional economies. I just want to say, to wrap up, thank you, Chris and Jason, for being here as part of Port Week to showcase the true essence of the kind of work that these guys go through on a daily basis. We just organized this yesterday afternoon, and at a moment's notice, Dominic and I decided that we were going to make our management meeting here in the yard, and you've heard from every single division. They gave you an idea of what the first 9 months, 10 months were like, and some of the outlook for the upcoming year and years. And certainly we want to conclude by saying the port is strong. Yes. Because we are port strong.
It's Port Week, but the port is strong. Got you. So I appreciate it, Rory.
Thank you so much.
You know, thanks, Tom. Most especially for opening it up and letting us talk to, like you said, the rank and file, the people with the boots on the ground. I mean, we could talk to board members and managers all day, but I mean, how you really gauge how well an agency is doing is you go in there and you talk to people who are in the classified system. So thank you guys for that. And thank you guys. I know this was a long one. Hopefully you guys have more understanding about what it takes to get you broccoli in your grocery store.
And the ice cream.
And the ice cream,
Wait,
okay?
tell them which was the heaviest containers.
The rice and the rebar.
The rice and the rebar. Maybe we're going to cut down on the rice, guys. All right, so my name is Chris. Thanks for watching GroupChat. Estajos. While we're eating as much rice as... It's crazy.